question just for Senators Cotton and Senator Britt. Are you hearing any concerns from fellow Republicans that this might be an overregulation, that it's actually the job of parents on their own to keep their children off of social media?
So I think that's exactly what parents want. They want to be back in the game. They want to have the ability to make sure that they can have tough conversations with their children. We all know, obviously, the benefits that can come from social media. We want our children to be able to connect and to explore. But we also want to make sure that that's done within the proper, where we put up the proper guardrails. Parents being able to figure out when children are ready for that is a critical step in that. And then also knowing that they have that ability to actually explore. When you look at what algorithms do, they continue to push you to certain content. This is going to allow kids, as I was talking earlier, back in the day, and it's maybe too old for some of you young ones in the front row, but you would go into a library, you have the Dewey Decimal System, you'd go to the card catalog, you'd be able to search and find where you wanted to go, exploring the entire room. What algorithms do is they basically send you back to the same part of the library over and over and over again. We want our children to be able to actually see what's out there. And then I think children being able to have that conversation with parents and putting parents back in the driver's seat with regards to when their children are allowed to get on social media is critically important. We see it harming kids across this country, and we finally have to stand up to big tech and put people over their profits.
And I would say I've heard the opposite. I've heard from a lot of our Kansans who are excited about the prospect of being able to once again control what their kids are seeing online in the digital world, just like they would in the real world. For those who have kids under the age of 13, there's an actual and an effective age verification system to make sure that your child is not using a social media site without your knowledge. For ages 13 to 17, parental approval, that doesn't currently exist. And I just want to stress again, this is simply applying the age-old wisdom of mankind from the real world to the digital world. We don't let minors sign contracts. We don't let them open bank accounts. We don't let them enlist in the military. We don't let them drink alcohol or smoke tobacco without parental consent. If those standards exist in the real world, as they have for the ages, why would we allow them to do those things or something like those things in the digital world?
Just quickly add, I find that this is one of the most apolitical conversations I have in Connecticut. I see very little, if any, disagreement between my constituents on the right and on the left when it comes to the agony that parents are going through today as they try to figure out what their kids are seeing and what their kids are being addicted to online. And frankly, if you look at some of the states that are moving forward with the most aggressive bills protecting kids online, they're Republican states. They're states that have Republican governors and Republican state legislatures. I think Democratic states will follow. But to me, the opportunity here is to really frame this inside this building the same way that it exists out there in the public, as a conversation that has nothing to do with party and partisanship, that actually unites people of differing political views around one very simple premise, that parents should have better tools to protect their kids.